Okay, Mr. Mayor, we should be ready.
Okay, call to order the meeting, the Committee of the Whole for Monday, January 29th, 2024. We'll all rise and salute the flag. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
and
to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God,
Under God,
indivisible, with
with
liberty and justice for all.
justice for all.
Thank you. Would we call the roll? Should I call the roll?
I can do that for you if you want.
Okay.
Mr. Brunson,
Excuse me, my screen went blank. It just says Zoom on it.
We can see you.
I see you, Tony.
Okay, fine, thank you. Done.
Mrs. Brunston Rizzo,
Here.
Mr. Caggiano is absent. Mr. Kingston,
Here.
Mr. Matiera,
Here.
Mrs. Milbury Ellis,
Present.
Ms. Monterosso,
Present.
Mayor Keefe.
Here. We have a quorum.
Yes, sir.
Before I did want to bring up, and I know Dr. Kelly, you had mentioned, and I wanted to offer from the school committee our condolences to the Miranda family. The city lost a professional in the school district to a lengthy battle with cancer, and so we wanted to send our condolences to the family of Janine, Juliana Miranda, and Joe. And we know they're over there in Saugus, but our thoughts and prayers are with you. At this moment, could we call for a moment of silence? Thank you. And Ms. Rizzo, I know that you had a close relationship as well with the Miranda family, so acknowledge that this one hits close to home. So tonight's agenda, we only have one item, and it is in regards to the school MSBA process and the schematic design. So I will read the motion that we are looking to discuss this evening. And of course, we'll open it to the committee members, or if there's any open speak, we can certainly do that as well. The motion in front of us this evening is a motion to approve Wonderland as the preferred option for submission to the City Council and MSBA. In the event that this option is not supported by the City Council at their meeting this evening, the school committee does approve the existing site courtyard force scheme as a secondary preferred option. So that would only be if the City Council declines on the Wonderland site. So in essence, we're choosing one, and then 1B would be a four-story scheme. So at this point in time, I would like to open it up before the school committee members speak for open speak of any public speak. If anyone wishes to chat on the Zoom, please feel free to raise your hand.
I'm going to second that motion first, Mr. Mayor.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Seconded by Mr. Kingston.
And now we can discuss if you'd like, or whatever.
So can I, just a point of order, I think you need a first and a second because you can't make a
Okay.
motion for the chair.
So how about John Kingston? Would you like to support that motion as a first?
Yes, sir. I don't know if I could
All right.
read it as eloquently as you did, however, but
Do we have a second?
I will second.
Okay, seconded by Ms. Monterosso. And again, it's a little different tonight, so would we open it up to public speak first and then open it up to okay, so open it up to public speak. If anyone wishes to speak on this, please feel free to raise your hand or make some sort of motion that I could see you. Okay. Not seeing any public speaking options. With that, I will close the Mr.
John
Stamatopoulos.
Hi, folks. I'll try to do this as safely as possible. So, nothing here in opposition. Just it's a motion where if we decline Wonderland, we're automatically accepting the existing site even though many folks may not be in support of the existing site, even if it doesn't go to Wonderland. So I know it was done to expedite the process, but it is one where you're forced with the existing site, even if Wonderland doesn't pass. So I
So,
don't, you know,
so Mr. Stamatopoulos, technically, no. We would just be giving the green light for the city council to then go ahead and vote as the existing site as an option. So if they decline to vote on Wonderland, if the Wonderland vote fails, they can take up the second part of the motion and vote on the current site. So no, it wouldn't be an automatic. They would then have to be unanimous on voting on
Yeah.
the current.
well, then vote on the current site, and that would, at that point, if they get a unanimous vote on the current site, it would be bonded. That'd be a vote to bond as well.
The vote to bond
Also-
would happen sometime in June.
That's later this year, sir.
Okay, thank you.
All right, so this, so yeah, bonding for both sites, or any site for that matter, would happen sometime this summer. Okay. All right, any other public speak? Hearing and seeing none, we're gonna close public speak. Any school committee members wish to speak? Mr. King, actually, Mr. Kingston, before I acknowledge, I do want to acknowledge that we have Council President Cogliandro, we have Councilor Robert Hass, and Councilor Mark Silvestri on this as well. Thanks for being in attendance this evening. All right, and any other, okay, we have none. Mr. Kingston.
Just to make everyone aware that there's only a simple majority tonight. So hopefully, well, whatever. I mean, the simple majority, so it's not a super vote tonight, on the council side. So just so people understand that, because there may be some questions about how many votes are needed tonight, to move forward in one direction or the other. That's all I really want to say.
Right.
I prefer, the only thing I also say, I prefer Wonderland. I think there's just too many problems with the high school site. I wish we had a third site, but we don't, so we have to take what we have in front of us. And I do think that Wonderland presents the better option at this point. My only issue is, and I might speak on this at the council tonight, is I'm really worried about those athletic fields. To go with Wonderland because of, for a number of reasons, but to see those fields disappear for a variety of reasons, that would be upsetting to me. So I'm hoping that can be at least put on the record that, voting for that site because it partly, well, at least for me anyway, partly because the athletic fields will be adjacent to the school, because that's what we're trying to create as a campus. So that's important to me, because I've heard all kinds of rumors about the fields going away or one field going away. It's already been decided. I know something was mentioned at the building committee meeting because I watched it. It said something about it, maybe a field going away, and that was kind of troublesome. We haven't even broken ground yet, and we're talking about losing a field already. That was troubling to me. Thank you.
Yeah, it's a great point. If I can speak to that, Mr. Kingston, I've heard the same thing, but I've also been in participation with those conversations. The intention is to build the school exactly as you see in the designs, with the multiple fields, multi-purpose field, baseball, tennis courts, multi-purpose soccer field, and then an additional field. What the all options are considered is if we are going down the road of 2-3 years down the road, and finances, and there are challenges when it comes to finances. There are some emergency reliefs available that would be, do we have to sacrifice a field at the tune of $3, $4, $5 million and turn it into something else? So there's things that we're not going to talk about out in the open with certain pieces of the litigation. But ultimately, if there's sacrifices that have to be made, we want to make sure that we have to be cognizant of every dollar that's spent on the site. And, if it meant one field, you're still getting an addition of multiple fields compared to what you have. And I think that would be something that everyone would probably have to vote on at some point in time, but be willing to do to make sure that the project didn't put anything, any of the city's finances in jeopardy. But I think the goal for all of us is to build the school exactly as it looks like on those designs.
Thank you.
A great question, Mr. Kingston. Ms. Rizzo?
Yeah, no, I just want to say, I mean, hopefully everything goes as the building project request. But ahead of the vote tonight, I just want to thank the counselors that have done their homework, that have listened to everything. I want to thank the community that has come out so many times to support it, and especially our student senate. They've done tremendous work. Sometimes I keep wondering who the adults are and who the students are. But again, I want to thank everyone that has participated in all this for the past 3 years, and just hoping everything works out for the best.
Thank you, Ms. Rizzo. Chairwoman Monteroso?
I think Ms. Bronson Rizzo just took the words out of my mouth, but I just wanted to take a moment to appreciate our students. You know, I always say students shouldn't have the need to advocate for themselves, but they've had it with the way things have been done in the past, and they have done an amazing campaign. I know they were still up late last night doing phone calls to the city councilors, phone banking their councilors, collecting signatures across the city, and our students' leadership in this, where other adult leaders have failed them, is just beyond words for me. So a big shout out to our students for advocating for their needs. I know this school committee hears their needs and hears our students' voices, and I know many of our city councilors do as well. And I hope that our city council today votes in a way that meets our students' needs, the needs of our community, and the needs of the future. And a big shout out to our counselors who helped us so much misinformation. I know Counselor Silvestri was on Facebook, I think, this whole week, just informing the public of so many questions they had. So a big thank you to our colleagues for helping us get this hopefully through the finish line in an hour or so.
Great points. Any other school committee persons wish to speak? Okay. I will also echo again, what I saw this last 3 months, collaboration between the city council, in my opinion, has never been better, and the school committee as well. This process has gone for almost 4 years, and there's been a lot of really good dialogue, and we got so much great feedback. I'm very, very proud of the way that people have worked together, and everyone understands the importance of this project to our entire community. But then again, I am completely in awe at the work that our school senate has put together and our student senate, but all of the students in our district that have helped champion this process for many years, but even more recently, some of the campaigns that they've put forth lately. We've received, I know that they'll talk about it tonight, but I've received just a few hundred emails over the last week, and not one email was against the Wonderland site. Everyone was a proponent of the Wonderland site, which kind of already validated my beliefs. And yes, I do understand that this is not an easy process when it comes to spending the taxpayers' dollars, but I always look at it going, if you're going to do a project that's going to last 50 years, it should represent what we want 50 years from now. And that's something that I feel very confident with the ability to do at the Wonderland site. So I'm very much in favor, and I'm ready to vote. So without it, if there's no further questions or comments, I'll be happy to ask for the vote. Or Dr. Kelly, I'll ask you to call the roll.
Sure. Mrs. Bronson Rizzo,
Yes.
Mr. Kingston,
Yes.
Mr. Matera,
yes,
Mrs. Milbury Ellis,
yes,
Ms. Monteroso,
Yes.
and Mayor Keefe.
Yes. The motion passes. We will send a positive response to the city council this evening. With that, we have no further business. We thank you for coming on this time, and we hope you can join us hope you can join our fellow colleagues in the city council tonight between 5 and 6, and then at 6 p.m. for the committee, the standards committee. Thank you. Motion to
Motion
adjourn.
to-
everybody.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Second.
All in
Roll
favor?
call.
Roll call.
Mrs. Bronson Rizzo,
Yes.
Mr. Kingston,
Yes.
Mr. Matera,
Yes.
Ms. Milbury Ellis,
yes.
Ms. Monteroso,
Yes.
and Mayor Keefe.
Yes. Thank you very much. Have a great night.
You all at City Hall.